Welcome to the True Detectives podcast, everyone. Ready for another wild story?
Always.
This time, we're going deep on a case, a real head-scratcher. Shifting clues, tattooed confessions, and the clock's ticking the whole time.
Sounds intense.
Oh, it is. We're talking serial killer leaving cryptic messages right on his victims, like something straight out of, I don't know, a horror movie.
Well, truth is often stranger than fiction. That's why we're here, right? To unpack these bizarre cases.
Exactly. And this one, phew, it's got more twists and turns than, well, you'll see.
Let's get into it then. Where do we start?
Right at the beginning, the case kicks off with a discovery that, well, let's just say it sends shivers down everyone's spines.
Yeah.
The first victim, found with this crudely done tattoo, a confession. But here's the thing, the signature, it just reads J.
J. Okay, so right off the bat, there's ambiguity. That's not going to make things easy.
Not at all. Imagine you're Detective Ortiz on the scene. You're looking at this tattoo, and you've got to be thinking, who is Jay? Is it Jansen, the florist? Quiet guy, keeps to himself? Or is it Jensen? The millionaire, practically a recluse, lives in a mansion on the hill.
That single initial, it throws the whole investigation wide open. Could be anyone.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, believe me. This wasn't just some isolated, strange incident. This was a pattern, a seriously disturbing one. 3 more victims, all with similar tattooed confessions. But each time, the signature changed. One time it pointed to an ex-lover, another time a business rival. It was like the killer was taunting them.
It's a really fascinating and frankly disturbing twist on the classic confession. You'd think a signature would be the key to cracking the case, but here it's the opposite. It just muddies the waters.
Exactly. Every new victim, it's like hitting the reset button on the suspect list. And you can imagine what that did to the public. I mean, imagine picking up the newspaper, seeing headlines screaming about a confession killer, victims seemingly naming their murderer. But the name changes every time.
That kind of uncertainty, it breeds fear, distrust. It's like the killer was deliberately trying to sow chaos, not just through the murders, but through the confessions themselves.
Absolutely. The media latched onto that confession killer moniker, and the pressure on the police, well, it was immense. They needed answers, and they needed them fast. Now, leading the charge on this case was Detective Maya Ortiz, and we're really going to try to see this whole thing through her eyes, get into her headspace.
Trying to understand her perspective is crucial. I mean, she is the one facing this bewildering puzzle, trying to make sense of it all.
And her initial reaction to the case, it's telling. She sees the horror, of course, but she also picks up on something else. This strange mix of desperation, probably from the victims, and an almost unnerving level of, well, brilliance from the killer. It wasn't just brutality, it was calculated.
It suggests a level of control, a deliberate manipulation that goes beyond just the act of killing. It's like the killer is playing a game, a very dangerous one.
A game with incredibly high stakes. And remember, the public is watching this unfold, terrified. The killer is using the media, the fear, as part of their strategy. Detective Ortiz, though, she starts to see a way through the fog. And it's not by focusing on who those signatures are pointing to, but on the tattoos themselves.
Interesting. Looking beyond the content, focusing on the form, the execution.
Exactly. And what she noticed was really unsettling. The tattoos, they were rushed, sloppy, frantic even, like someone was working under extreme duress.
Yeah.
It wasn't the work of a killer proudly claiming their kill. It was something else entirely. A horrifying realization dawned on her. The killer wasn't confessing. They were forcing the victims to implicate others.
That changes everything. It's not about who the names are, but about why they're there. It speaks to a level of psychological control that's just chilling.
And with that understanding, those shifting confessions, they took on a whole new meaning, a truly sinister one. The killer was turning the city against itself, making everyone question everyone else. A web of suspicion, distrust. It was spreading like wildfire.
Imagine the impact on the investigation itself. Not only are they dealing with the trauma of these murders, but now they're navigating a minefield of potential suspects, each one seemingly validated by the victim's final words.
And it was taking its toll. You could feel the tension in the precinct, the fear. Even amongst the detectives, there was suspicion. Imagine working alongside your colleagues, knowing any one of them can be implicated by the next victim. It was a pressure cooker.
It's like the killer was attacking the investigation from within, eroding trust, creating an environment where clear thinking becomes almost impossible.
But Detective Ortiz, she doesn't give up. She keeps pushing, keeps looking for that one clue, that one crack in the killer's facade. And it comes while examining the last victim's tattoo. The ink, she notices, it's fading unusually fast.
An interesting observation, something most people would probably overlook.
Right. But Ortiz, she's got this hunch. It's a long shot, but she decides to use a black light. And what they find, well, it's a complete game changer.
What do they find?
Under the UV light, another set of words appears, etched in a different kind of ink, only visible under the black light. The confession, the whole charade, it had a hidden layer, a message revealed only after death.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowing.
This is incredible. The killer was thinking several steps ahead, planning not just the murders, but the investigation itself. It's almost like a performance, with the real message concealed until the very end.
Exactly. And with this new information, they look back at the latest victim's confession, the one pointing the finger at the local politician. It had to be a misdirection, a distraction. While her team was scrambling to investigate the politician, Detective Ortiz, she knew better. She could see the killer's game now. They weren't after the politician at all. This was all a setup, a smokescreen to hide their real target.
So she's starting to anticipate the killer's moves, understand their twisted logic. It's a dangerous game of cat and mouse.
And despite the protests from her team, she races towards what she believes is the actual target. A massive rally, tons of people packed together, the perfect place to unleash chaos. It was a huge gamble, going against her own team's advice. But she was right. The killer's lair, it was nearby, just as she suspected. Inside, they found all these news clippings, photos of the victims. It was chilling. And on a map, the rally location was clearly marked. It was all planned out.
So the killer was drawn to spectacle, to creating maximum impact. It's not just about individual victims, it's about disrupting society itself.
It gets worse. The confession, it wasn't the end game. It was all a prelude to something far more terrifying. The killer had planted a bomb at the rally. As the crowd panicked, Detective Ortiz's team found themselves trapped. And in the chaos, she finally confronts the killer, a seemingly ordinary person lost in the crowd.
And what was their motive? What could possibly justify such an act?
The killer, they spout off about exposing the lies of society about rot and decay. They believe that only through destruction could there be rebirth. A twisted, nihilistic worldview.
It's a disturbing ideology, a belief that the world is so broken, so corrupt that it needs to be completely torn down to start anew. It's a dangerous and destructive line of thinking.
Absolutely. Detective Ortiz, she apprehends the killer, prevents the bomb from going off. But the whole thing, it left a lingering sense of unease, a Pyrrhic victory, you know. The killer had, in their own twisted way, achieved their goal. They'd sown chaos, fear, distrust.
So what do we take away from all this incredible, disturbing story? The shifting confessions, the hidden messages, the calculated chaos. It's a chilling reminder of how easily we can be manipulated, how fragile our sense of reality can be.
It makes you think, right? About the nature of truth, how we perceive it, how we trust. It's easy to take things at face value, especially when it comes to confessions. But what this case shows us is how those things can be twisted, used as weapons.
And the killer's motive, this idea of exposing societal decay, was it madness, a warped ideology? Or was there, in their minds, some twisted logic to it all?
It's a question we're left grappling with. Even when the truth is revealed, can the damage caused by such deep deception ever be fully repaired? It's a sobering thought.
It is, and a good one for our listeners to ponder. Join us next time on the True Detectives podcast as we delve into another unsettling case, another journey into the dark side of human nature. Don't forget to rate and follow the show for more true crime and true detective stories.